26.
You guys and your numbers.
I can't number. I can't even function well.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Fuck it. Welcome back to War Stars.
The Republic respects the peace of Otto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake. I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary.
Yep.
If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be
But yeah, no,
punished
going back to what I was saying before the recording, it's like, yeah, no, I technically have clairvoyancy, it's just, like, very weird. Because I've been able to predict certain events, but, like, very weird things that are inconsequential and nobody gives a shit about.
They were provoked, Your Honor.
I remember having a dream of going to church and showing a friend that I had gotten a copy of Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. And then only for it to literally happen exactly as it did in the dream 2 weeks later. And it's just the most boring shit. But it's one thing that genuinely pisses me off is because it's like, fucking hell. Like, why can't I have the power to predict something interesting? Why is it every time I predict something, it's something stupid that no one gives a shit about?
So are we done at tech support, or what's next?
Tech support.
Oh,
What?
was tech support?
Yeah, these guys
No,
actually
we're
do
saying
kind of look like
support.
tech support.
But yeah,
What? I'm
these
sorry, did you want me
fishy
to turn it off
bastards
and
their
on again?
fucking texture is why Manon sucks. He needs to fucking die.
Yeah, we've been running into weird texture glitches while we've been here, and it's like
Yeah.
we had texture glitches earlier where some textures just weren't loading. Here it feels like textures want to load, but are loading in such a way that your computer is just like, yeah, no, don't know what's wrong, just don't want to work properly.
Yeah. It's like, fuck you.
You want to record a nearly 20-year-old game? Fuck you.
Yeah.
So nice to meet an impartial judge for a change.
I'm happy that at the very least, like, if I ever felt like recording the Jazz Jackrabbit games, that I wouldn't have as much problem, because while one of them predates Windows as a system, I can at least run that shit on DOSBox. As for Jazz Jackrabbit 2, that one has a native Windows port, so I wouldn't have to worry. And for all of you wondering what Jazz Jackrabbit is, it's Sonic with a gun. And I don't mean like Shadow the Hedgehog Sonic with a gun. I mean like classic Genesis Sonic, except you have a gun.
So Shadow with a gun.
Less Shadow with a gun, more
I mean, a lot of it is sounding like Shadow with a gun, so.
less Shadow with a gun, more basically, if you were to mix classic Genesis Sonic with not completely the gameplay of Mega Man, but like the running and gunning that Mega Man has.
Oh, okay.
It's a fun series, and I mean you can get on GOG. Like on GOG it goes on sale all the time. I was actually able to get, because there were only ever 2 games. There was supposed to be a third. But on GOG there were supposed to be on GOG they have the collection of both games, and a lot of times they'll just go on sale for like, you can get the entire collection for $3.
I can't believe that fucking worked.
What?
I just technically cheated to get a really powerful weapon and armor. Which would be great if I wasn't doing a pacifist run where I couldn't use weapons or have any use for armor.
Speaking of that injury, has it been
That's
taken into
disappointing.
consideration, Your Honor?
Yeah, so there are these things called bound weapons in the Elder Scrolls, right? And in Oblivion, there's also bound armor, which is conjuration spells. Well, turns out, they can take damage just like any other piece of equipment.
Huh. Interesting.
Normally, whenever you cast one of these bound weapons or bound items, you can't drop them. But if you repair the damage to the bound item, you can. So, the cheat goes, summon the item, damage the item, repair the item, then and only then can you drop the item, wait for the timer on the spell to go out, and for some reason it does not it doesn't make the item disappear anymore. So you can just pick it up and do whatever you want with it after the spell ends.
Interesting.
I just explained that very, very poorly because I explain things poorly. But
You explained it in a way that that at least made sense.
Alright, you did.
I just got mid to late game equipment at level 4
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunrise
by
Valley.
cheating.
My husband
Nice.
is innocent.
Cheating when skill isn't enough.
I mean, we're talking about Bethesda, a fucking company that leaves in developer rooms where you can get late game items.
Here's the thing, though, Rumpy. Here's the thing, though, Rumpy. I cheated just to see if it would work. I'm not going to use the items because I can't.
There's no way he would do something so dishonorable as hit her from behind.
Yeah,
Armor makes it where
he's doing...
your spells fail, and weapons are useless for a pacifist. I mean, look at Glitch.
Look, weapons are useless for me not because I'm a pacifist, but because I'm an idiot.
I prefer to make my... Hey, here's an idea. Why you don't waste my... They don't bother me. You don't waste my... They don't bother me. You don't waste... I might know a little. See, I can...
But Yeah, no, going back to it, like it would be better to have those items early on in the game if it weren't for the fact he's doing a pacifist run, which negates any use of it, pretty much all of those items. I am more upset at the idea that that you wouldn't be able to use.
What's worse is those spells are specific to the school of magic I'm using to get through the game. They're conjuration spells. And
Yeah.
I'm using summons to get through the game. So,
Yeah,
I'm not doing the...
Sorry, no, go ahead.
Sorry, somebody just distracted me.
You're, I think I get what you're saying. You're not doing the actual attacking. The things you're summoning are.
Yeah, and they're only attacking things that have shown hostility or, more accurately, have actively attacked me. So, I can't go around just, like, killing innocent people. No crime, no cromicide for me.
What made you want to do a pacifist run?
I like conjuration spells.
Okay. Much simpler answer than I expected.
I'm a simple.
Yep.
I really do want to try the Oblivion remaster.
What are you doing here? Dolores sent me summary. I'm here to get you out of this.
Frankly, I'm just kind of surprised that they decided, yeah, we're gonna, and I say remaster.
Shadow drop it.
Yeah, shadow drop it. I keep calling it a remaster. It is referred to as a remake. And if anything, that's more just me. Like either way, I do want to. I do want to try it.
Ah, damn. They knew somebody was gonna try that. The bound armor sells for nothing.
That's disappointing.
I mean, thankfully it's weightless. But
Still disappointing that you go through the trouble of actually trying to cheat and do that, only for it to not work.
I really wanted to see if it works because I heard about it in this video, but that video was going over stuff from the original Oblivion.
So yeah, they probably fixed it for the remake.
No. I was still able to do the thing.
Yeah, but if I'm more saying in the original, if that armor actually sold for anything, then
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Dude used it to get a sword early in the game because he was doing a challenge run where he could only use things that were given to him.
So basically, he couldn't buy weapons or armor. Any weapons or armor had to be given either via a quest or something like that. Okay.
And there are these stones out in the world that give you bound weapons and armor when you activate them. Yeah, it's supposed to be like temporary temporary buffs. but dude used that glitch I was just talking about to get himself a sword, since technically the sword is given to him by the stone, but only temporarily. Unless you do the thing that I just did.
It's very interesting. I am curious, though, now that I think of it, what's everyone's experience with Elder Scrolls games, like, outside of Skyrim?
I've never played it, so you're wasting your time on me.
I've
You
played
haven't,
Elder Scrolls Online, but
you haven't played any Elder Scrolls game, Rumpy?
Nope.
Go ahead, ask.
I started Morrowind with
Very well.
at
Once
Alex's
you've got
place
enough-
once,
Yeah.
but I never got past character creation.
I have some of the Elder Scrolls games. Like, I know I have Morrowind, I have,
I hear you've been appointed.
granted,
as
it's
arbiter.
not really much because I remember, if I remember correctly,
And there's no way-
they've released them for free. But I have
It's possible. I haven't seen Sunrise.
Find the real ev-
Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall, so like the original 2 Elder Scrolls on Steam. I have Skyrim because Walker gave me a copy years ago, and I just haven't really messed with it. I just happen to have a copy. Never played Oblivion. I wanted to play Oblivion when it first came out because it looked interesting. But that was also around the time that my parents would limit what I played. So if it was a certain age range, they'd be like, "No, you can't play that." Now they don't care. Now they don't care, but it's almost like I'm 27 or something.
I told the damn fish.
Lame. I was playing Devil May Cry 3 at 10 years old.
Yeah, but your parents weren't nearly as worried about what media you were consuming.
100 credits.
Yeah.
Oh no, they were worried about it. They just couldn't stop me.
I was in my
My parents, take into account, my parents when I was a kid wouldn't let me watch stuff like Courage, The Cowardly Dog, or Billy and Mandy for a few reasons. And I'm more upset about Billy and Mandy because they didn't want me watching that because they thought it would scar me as a kid. And Billy and Mandy is just not as actually dark or disturbing as Courage was. Courage had the same kind of stipulation, and it's one where it's I can concede and say, yeah, I understand why they didn't want me watching Courage as a kid, even though it was supposed to be a kid show, because that is greatly scarring for kids. But yeah, like my parents just kind of limited my media. Which is also probably why I got to try a lot of just very weird shit when it came to video games. Well, I say that. Less because they were limiting what I was playing, and more I just got like I was curious about certain games, and they're like, all right, fine. Which is how I ended up playing the fucking Larry Boy and the Bad Apple for Game Boy Advance, which is just Mario versus Donkey Kong with a VeggieTales skin. Like it is not in any way a bad game, but it's also a like pretty much everyone who was gonna play that was a fan of VeggieTales. So very little people were gonna intentionally go out of their way to play it that weren't already fans of the Christian Veggie series.
For for at least my part, my parents would buy me anything as long as it had Star Wars attached to it. And that was
Which
how 7-year-old me played Republic
Welcome to
Commando.
I'm Roland Wan, as the official
Republic
of the Republic
wasn't Republic Commando the
I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid.
I can't think of how to describe it. It was basically just Rainbow Six, like classic Rainbow Six, but in
Yes.
Star Wars. Also,
With
correct me if
mentions
I'm
of
wrong.
IDs,
course.
torture.
An ancient and
Oh, and the fact that blood would splatter over your fucking screen if you meleeed someone or shot someone at close range with a shotgun.
I forgot about that. Also, Republic Commando got a remaster recently, didn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so happy that it did.
Did it?
we were
Yeah.
using a submersible
Man,
rocket
I
Um,
wish we would get like an
while it was
actual
returning
like
to the
Rainbow
surface and
Six
encountered
Star Wars
difficulties
game.
and was disabled. Its
Look,
automatic
at this point,
systems
I'd
to
just take another
applying
fucking
subtle pressure
Republic
to
Commando.
Selkath authorities. The droid's data center
Yeah, eventually, there was actually two competing projects for its sequel,
it's heavily
either
guarded,
Republic,
that is
either
Roland.
Imperial Commando or Rebel Commando,
The first
with
method that
Rebel
we
Commando
think he
basically
is
picking
now.
up with
We managed to
Sev
pick
not
the
having
emergency
gotten
system.
Order 66,
The
and
Sith
now
have got
basically
the
being
self-visiting Sith
the
Lord
father
to spy
of
with
the
the
Rebel
Sith base.
Alliance's
Here's a
Special
pass card.
Forces.
You can choose
That's
whichever
even more sad. Like,
You'll need luck for
it's
that. I wish you luck.
sad enough that there was a sequel planned for Republic Commando with how well received that game was. But it's even sadder knowing that we didn't just get one canceled project, we got two because they fought with each other and they couldn't just it's kind of a
Yeah,
they couldn't decide.
that would have been awesome, especially if it was a kind of like the final mission ostensibly the final mission basically ends up having conflicting.
Well, and
Like,
with how you described one of them, it kind of reminds me of and Grant, take what I'm gonna say into account. Like, I have not actually seen the series myself, but it kind of sounds like what we inevitably got with Bad Batch.
yeah, CX clones are kind of like what the Imperial Commandos were gonna be.
Yeah, which I'm not upset. I'm not upset that we eventually got. I really can't think. I'm not upset we got Bad Batch. The only reason I haven't seen it is I haven't seen Clone Wars, and I need to. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch all of Clone Wars. I'm probably gonna just watch bits and pieces. I know, because I need to watch. Because there's a lot of Star Wars stuff that I've been meaning to watch, like supplementary material. Because I know Andor season 2 started.
Yeah, and Andor season 2 actually has the TIE Avenger, and in a rare case that I think I've only seen with Vader, they made something from Legends even stronger.
Yeah, like they, and I think that's something that they've had.
Like in Legends, the TIE Avenger was literally just a mass-produced version of Vader's TIE Advance. It was a little slower, didn't its hyperdrive was well crap, and but it had shields and it had a hyperdrive. It could actually functionally fight the Rebels starfighters on relative parity.
Nice.
Here though, it is a do everything special forces nightmare death machine with you could load the damn thing with 96 concussion missiles if you really wanted to. That is 30 flavors of bullshit.
Have you seen? Because I think that they also show that off in the trailers, like without even spoiling anything from the show. They show off that. They show off the You said TIE Destroyer.
TIE Avenger.
Yeah, TIE. They show off a TIE vehicle in the trailers.
But
and it just like
is
holy shit,
also
that
my
looked
favorite
badass.
TIE variant anyway, so I'm all down for them making it stronger.
Yeah. Like
and it even has a war crime machine in a disruptor cannon.
But for me, with how Disney has handled Legends, I would rather them do what they've done with the Vader comics and what they've done here, where if they're gonna take something from canon from Legends, at least like do something interesting with it if you're gonna change it, as opposed to what the sequel trilogy did.
Which is ignore all of it and say fuck you.
Well, ignore all of it and pick and choose details that you're just gonna rewrite because you think you can do it better, despite the fact that you very clearly cannot do it better.
Oh hi, trying to make Darth Titus all over again.
But yeah,
I will not besmirch Adam Driver's work. He did a damn good job despite the script he was given.
Adam Driver in general, I think it's one of those I actually feel kind of sorry for him because I liked him in the sequel trilogy, but it was an example like pretty much every character in the sequel trilogy was dealt a bad hand, and it's not because they were particularly bad, it's just that they were not
the writers were incompetent.
Yeah. And for me it's even worse because you go from something like Last Jedi. I don't hate Rian Johnson because I've seen stuff he's done outside of Star Wars, and it's like, oh, like I actually enjoy his work. And then you get something like Last Jedi, and it's like, yeah, even from someone who actually enjoyed Last Jedi, it's not one of his better works. Because at least Knives Out and Glass Onion, like those are genuinely fun fucking movies. And then you go to Last Jedi, and it's like
the way he treated his criticism. He called every single Star Wars fan every istphobe and whatever fucking thing under the fucking sun, because the little baby couldn't handle us calling him out on his bullshit.
Yeah, at some point it's like, yeah, no, if you make something bad, you should at least take the criticism. Like he could have at least said,
Oh no,
okay,
don't be a pussy.
like
I have no fuck.
Wait,
I would
hold
say
on.
this about J.J.
I don't
Abrams.
have to take this from you. I have money. I can just sling insults at you.
Yeah, honestly, that's what it kind of feels like. Like, not. I will say this about J.J. Abrams. Episode 7 was amazing, and Episode 9 was doing the fucking best it had with the hand it was dealt.
yeah, but in Episode 9's case, the thing that kind of angers me the most with Episode 9 is like it wasn't that it the writing in Episode 9 was just not good, but my biggest problem is also like we're going to undo everything that Last Jedi did, even stuff that was actually halfway decent with Last Jedi. Like, yeah, Last Jedi may not have been great, but there were details that I wish they followed up on that they just either ignored or said, yeah, no, that's not actually how it happened. Anyway, we can continue this conversation next part.
Yeah.